The monsoon has arrived in Arizona, bringing dangerous dust storms to the valley and much needed moisture to the high country. Here in Flagstaff, the past few months have been full of record-breaking heat and extreme fire behavior seen on the Pocket Fire. But as of this week, Flagstaff and other areas have above average rainfall.
But then as we move south of the rim into more like Yavapai County, some of those areas have seen 2 to even close to 4 inches of rain already. So doing really well this early in the season.
Megan Taylor is a meteorologist at National Weather Service Flagstaff. Her team sends out daily forecasts and weather alerts. They have also been working with fire officials on the Pocket Fire for weeks to help them better understand fire activity.
So we are in constant communication, chatting with those folks every day so that they know what the local office is thinking and relaying all that information to the folks on the fire, making decisions about fire behavior and fire activity.
Pocket Fire officials tell me they're feeling a lot more confident thanks to a combination of recent rains and hard work by hotshot crews.
We can see in the southern portion of that Pocket Fire, there's a lot of greens and yellows, and those yellows are 1 to 2 inches of estimated rainfall.
Fire danger on the Coconino National Forest still remains at the very high level, and Stage 2 restrictions are still in place. But restrictions are lifted as of Friday on the Apache Sitgraves National Forest, and they're lifting Saturday on the Kaibab National Forest.
A month ago, we were coming into the season with all of the fuels were really ripe and ready, to support wildfire growth. Now that they've seen some moisture, that will certainly limit the fuels piece of the equation.
Taylor adds the rain is a welcome sight, but it's important for people to remember they can also bring their own set of dangers.
Yes, there are benefits to the wildfire behavior and activity, but we're certainly still concerned about flooding potential.
And Taylor says this wet weather pattern will be sticking over our state for the foreseeable future, and all their indicators are pointing right now to an above average monsoon.
And Mason, with more rain on the way, as you said, how can people up north prepare and protect themselves?
Well, one of the biggest things is making sure that you have weather alerts on your phone. That way, if there is a flash flood warning in your area, you know ahead of time. Also, when thunder roars, go indoors. And just remember, this rain is a very welcome sight, but it can bring its own dangers, which is why it's important for people to prepare ahead of time.